Hey guys, and welcome back to another playthrough of Warfighter World War II here on the World War II Solitaire board game channel. Today we're gonna play Country Stroll. This mission lets you spend 48 resources. We have a time frame of 11 rounds. Our objective is placed at location number 6. Our loadout has a -1. A nice condition here is that we will be able to move the timer counter backward one space for each time that we play a nature card. So we want to have nature cards on this mission. It's not like the last mission, House to House, where we did not want nature cards. So the last mission went really good. So I haven't really changed up a lot with my squad. I have something like 13 more points or something like that to spend. And I still have Yandy, which is a play soldier, and he still has the M1 rifle. Instead of grenades, I have given him free satchel charges for our objective. Then I have McDougal, and he has still the M1 carbine, and he has a total of 4 MK2 grenades. And unfortunately he does have the panic skill. Yeah, there's 4 of these. And then we have a new guy in the squad, and it's a non-player soldier. His name is Harmon. He is I like him because he has, as you can see, a good movement value of 4. So don't really have to spend a lot of cards moving him to new locations. He also have +1 in hand-to-hand combat. He comes equipped with the M1 rifle, which you already know. He also comes with the item entrenching tool. I rarely use that, to be honest, but perhaps a situation will arise where I could have need of it. And then he also has the spotter skill, which lets me pay 1 action to add 1 to the attack rolls of another soldier attack in the same location until the end of the soldier turn. Can also upgun that with 1 experience point. And then we have Scott. You already know him. You saw him in the old mission. He's a pretty decent squad soldier, free in movement value. He starts with 1 experience, and I forgot to put out the experience points here. McDougal also starts with 3 experience. So that's my squad for this mission. Our objective is the supply dump. The supply dump is a structure. We need to destroy the supply dump with explosives, and we can only attack with explosions. It has a +3 in size, meaning that we will have a +3 in our attack roll. It has a cover of 2, and we need to do 6 hits to the supply dump to destroy it. The supply dump is screened by any enemy hostiles in this location. Entrance cost is free, and it will reinforce 0 and 1 value hostiles. And that is today's mission. So let's see if we are going to be as successful as we were with the previous mission. But actually this one can be a little bit, the supply dump can be a little bit tough. So we'll see. So we're going to start by drawing our action cards for our player soldiers. So McDougal has a 5 in health, so he will draw 5 action cards. And Yandy has a health value 6, so he will draw 6 action cards. So we hope that at least one of these cards is a location marker. McDougal draws Infiltrate, Steady Aim, Cautious, Snapshot, and Reloading. So unfortunately no location marker, that's pretty bad. Then we have Yandy, and he's drawn Ready, Cover Me, Extra Magazine, Advance, Stay low, you know, I like that one. And draw fire. So that's pretty crappy because that means we don't draw a single location marker. So I am gonna go ahead and discard all of these cards except stay low with Yandy as an action and draw 5 new cards and hope that I'm more lucky this time. So we draw take cover, sniper support, extra magazine, go go go, and self-sacrifice. Ah, come on, man. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and spend his last action discarding these cards, drawing 5 more cards. And we have Cautious, Overwatch, Prepared Fire, Advance, Flanking Attack. So again, no location markers, and he has no more actions. So we're gonna have to do the same now with McDougal. Some of these are pretty good, but I can't really afford to keep any of them. I will discard all of them and spend 1 action drawing new cards. Drawing 5 new cards. And we have take cover, self-sacrifice. There we go. Finally we get a location marker. Suppress. And camouflage. So we're gonna go ahead and discard the location marker and draw a location card. And we have Pasture. And I think Pasture is pretty okay. It's 1 action to play, only reinforces number 3 hostiles. However, quite a lot of hostiles are going to spawn from it. 1 action to play, and five of them are going to spawn of it, or 5 points of hostiles. Now, it's not a nature card, so I'm not going to be able to gain 1 turn playing that card. So that's unfortunate. And I also feel like I might not want to play this card this turn because Yandy has used both of his actions. And McDougal's has used 1 of his actions, and it's going to be a lot of hostiles. So I think actually I might wait. Let's see if he has some good cards I could perhaps use. Well, they're not really good. We have the flanking attack, so I guess I could use that. Well, tough call, really. Okay, I'll think I'm gonna go ahead and waste 1 turn then. So let's reset my action whoops marker. I have 1 more action, so I'm actually gonna look at my cards, perhaps discard some of them. Yeah, I'm gonna discard all of these 4 cards and draw 4 new cards. Hope for some better cards. I also need more location markers. Self-sacrifice, move out, advance, and 1 more location marker. So we'll discard the location marker and take a look at what location we get. And we get trenches. This one is free to play. Structure. Attacks from outside this location cannot target this location unless they come from an elevated location. And there's even more hostiles from this card, so I'm not sure I want to play that one. I think I'd rather play the Pasture one. Well, anyway, I'm not going to do anything more this turn, so I'll reset my action markers. And there's no reinforcements going on the mission card, so we're just going to go ahead and advance the timer. And then we're going to go ahead and go again. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and play the Pasture card with McDougal. 1 action to play. And then we're gonna go ahead and draw some hostiles. We have a squad value of 48, so we will draw 5 hostiles, or 5 points of hostiles. So we have Sturmtruppen, which will attack number 3. And then we have, that's a point of 2, so we need 3 more points of hostiles. Then we have a Grenadier, who's fearless, has a 1 in penetration value, and a 0 hostile value, so we still need to draw 3 points of hostiles. And we draw another Grenadier, sorry. So we still need more hostiles. And then we have Riflemen. They have a hostile value of 1. So we are still 2 hostile points away from drawing as many as we need to. And then we have Recruits. Wow, man, look at these hostiles. And this is the reason why I don't like this location with a high hostile value, because you are just gonna get surged. And well, and then we have another Sturmtruppen, so we have finally now drawn hostiles for the value of this location. So we have 2 Sturmtruppen, 2 Grenadiers, 1 Rifleman, and 1 Recruit. And they are a total of 1, 2, 6, 10, 13, 15 hostiles. So I'm actually not sure I'm going to be able to take them all down, because I only have 4 guys here. I have 2 player soldiers, 1 non-player soldier, and 1 squad soldier. And this is also what I meant with that you kind of want to keep your actions ready once you place one of these location cards, because you might be in trouble. So let's see what we can do about these guys. Several of them only have a 0 in range. And that's the Sturmtruppen and the Grenadiers. So I'm not going to bother with them. However, the Recruits and the Riflemen, both of them have a range 0 to 1, so they can fire at me here when I'm on the mission card. So I'm going to wait for these guys to come, and then I'm going to escape from them. The Riflemen, however, I have to deal with, and the Recruits. The Recruits, they screen all of these hostiles. They screen any non-recruit hostiles. So I'm going to have to start firing on them. Let's see if I have any good cards I could play. Not really. And I'm not going to move in, because if I move in, all of these 4 soldiers are going to be able to fire on me. The 2 Sturmtruppen and the 2 Grenadiers. But I am going to go ahead and fire at the Recruits. Let's see if I have any fun cards to help me fire with. I have prepared fire, and that's about it actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire at the Recruits with Yandy, who has the M1 rifle. It has a 1 in penetration value, so I don't need to roll the D6 because the Recruit's cover value of 2 is already beaten. But I need, at range 1, I need to roll 8 or higher to successfully hit these guys. With the D10, that is. And I roll a 4, so that is a miss. However, we do get 1 suppression, since our cover was successful. I'll use 1 more action and shoot at him. And we get a 9, so that's good, because that means that we have successfully killed 1 of them. And that's all of his actions. And then we go to McDougal, who is going to go ahead and fire at the Riflemen. And let's see, the Riflemen, these guys, they would screen, but 1 of them is killed, 1 of them is suppressed. The Rifleman has a 2 in cover value, and the M1 carbine does not have a cover roll. So I'm gonna have to roll the D6 here and get a 2 with that. And the M1 carbine only hits on 9 or higher, so I need a 9 or higher with the D10. Whoops. So I wish this one was like that, but unfortunately it's like that, so it's a 6, so I miss. However, we have a cover break here, a 4. I only needed a 2, So we do manage to suppress one of those riflemen. So we're gonna move on now to Harmon. He's gonna keep up. Let's see, no, I'm actually gonna use Scott. So Scott hits on a 9 or higher on range 1. He needs a 2 or higher with the D6 to break the rifleman's cover. And a 3, so that is a miss. However, we rolled 3 with the D6 as well, so we have 1 successful suppression. And I'm gonna use his last action now to fire 1 last time at the rifleman. And that's a good roll here. It's maximum roll. We have a 10 and a 6. So Scott manages with his little 1911 45 ACP auto pistol. He manages to kill one of the 3 riflemen. And then we have Harmon. And I want Harmon to kill the last recruit. So we're going to go ahead and fire at him. He has the M1 rifle, so we don't need to roll the D6. We have an automatic cover break since there's a penetration value of 1. But he needs an 8 or higher with the D6 to manage to hit. And he rolls a 5, so that is a miss. Let us try 1 last time. 8 or higher. Ooh, look at that. Thank you. So, killed. We managed to kill off these nasty recruits. And that's good because they can be annoying as they screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the bottom of the pile. And let's see, they have a... Where do you go? Where the heck did I put them? Oh, there it is. Okay, so they have a value of 1. So that means they will... that Harmon is going to get 1 experience point for taking those guys out. Alright, and that is pretty much the end of my turn. So I'm going to go ahead and reset my action counters or action markers. And this is going to be an interesting game because I already feel a little bit overwhelmed. So I'm not going to try it like I usually try to kill everything, but I'm not going to be able to do here. And I guess perhaps I could, so we don't get confused about where these guys are. Let's put these guys together because they are the same type over the zone here to not be confused. Sometimes I actually, when I play with my, so that sounded weird. When I play on my own, I use card stands from DVG for these enemy cards, so you can have a lot of them in one row. But when you're playing like this, because I want you to see what's going on, it can be a little bit cluttered, the playing space, or cluttered. Okay, so that is the end of our turn. We go now to the enemy turn, and there's not going to be any fire because the Sturmtruppen and the Grenadier has a range of 0, and these guys are either dead or suppressed. However, there is going to be close range, so all of these guys, the Sturmtruppen, both of them targeting number 3, both of them, and the Grenadiers targeting 2 and 4, is moving into my zone. And then we remove 1 suppression counter from each hostile, and we advance the mission timer, so we have 9 turns remaining. Okay, so my plan now is kind of to run to the pasture and try to just keep moving. The problem is I have the trenches card, and that is even worse because that forces me to put out 6 points of hostiles. So that is pretty bad. I don't know why I haven't resetted these, but of course I should. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move into the pasture. The pasture has an entrance cost of 2, so all of our guys have that in at least or higher in their movement value, so don't really have to care too much about that. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and play the advance card here. Sorry, that's wrong. The flanking attack card, and that forces me to discard 2 of my action cards, and then it lets me move in and attack without spending any action. So I'm moving in and I'm attacking the riflemen with my M1 rifle. I don't need to roll the D6 because of the penetration value, but I need to roll the D10, and I need to roll a 7 or higher. and we roll a 9. So we have a second one dead in that squadron. And let's see. I think... Okay, so we'll discard this. I think I'll discard these cards, or 2 of them at least, and draw 5 new cards as an action, and hope that I get some... hope that I manage to get some new location cards. So our cards... Let's hope for a location card. We get steady, aim, location marker, thank you. Steady aim again. Move out. And another location marker. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and discard the location markers and draw 2 new locations. And we get ruins. And we want the nature location, so this one is not super good, but it's pretty good because there's no reinforcements and not very high hostile value. And then we have the ford, and that is a nature location. So that could be pretty good. Okay, so 1 action. Both of them is 1 action to play. So anyway, that's not something I'm gonna go do for this turn. Maybe next turn. I'm gonna keep up the fire. I want to kill the riflemen, but however, I'm gonna move in my troops first. So MacDougall is moving in, and he's using the move out card, letting me move in without spending an action. And then he's gonna go ahead and spend 1 action, firing with his M1 carbine, hitting on a 6 or higher, and I need a 2 with the cover roll. Ha! Look at that. Last rifleman is dead, and that's pretty cool because that means that now we can start firing at the Sturmtruppen and Grenadiers and suppress them so they can't move into our zone. For killing these riflemen, MacDougall gets another experience point. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move in Harmon and Scott. Spending 1 action doing so. Or actually perhaps, let's see, Harmon and Scott. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna fire with them and then I'm gonna move them. So I think, okay, so the Grenadiers, they're fearless, meaning I cannot suppress them. So I am gonna go ahead and fire at the Sturmtruppen, and the Sturmtruppen are really deadly, so I really want to stop them rather than anyone else. So Harmon goes ahead and uses 1 action to fire at the first group of Sturmtruppen here. He needs, they have a cover value of 4, but at range 0, they only have a cover value of 2. And he has the M1 rifle with the 1 in penetration value, so cover is automatically going to be broken. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the D10, and I'm going to need a roll of 7 or higher to hit or to kill one of them. And a roll of 4, so that is a miss. However, we managed to suppress one of them, so that is that's a good deal. So let's go with Scott here. He's gonna fire at the second Sturmtruppen. He also needs a 2 here on the D6 to break cover, and a 7 to hit. And he rolls a 5, so no kill, but a 2, so he manages to break cover of that Sturmtruppen, so that's pretty cool. And so let's see what I want to do with these guys. Okay, so first of all, Scott and Harmon is moving in, using their last action. And let's see here what I want to do with my last actions from these guys. I think actually I'm going to use MacDougall's last action here to discard his cards and draw 5 new cards, because he doesn't have very good cards. So let's see his 5 new cards. A location marker. a location marker, walk it off, foo bar, and a scrounge. So yeah, well, they're not really good cards. The location cards could be good. Let's check out what kind of locations we find. 2 new locations. And we have Cratered, so that's a nature card. So that is actually a pretty good card. I think we want to play that one. And then we have Traffic Hub. I don't like that one. Always draw for reinforcements and so on. It has a low entrance cost, but that doesn't really help us. So I think Cratered is going to be the one that I'm going to play. And the question is, do I want to play the Ruins first, or the Ford first, or the Cratered first? So we're going to have to think about that. But I have one more action, and that's from Andy. So he's going to go ahead and fire at one of these Sturmtruppen. And he will fire with his M1 rifle. So you know that cover is already... No, actually, he will need to roll for cover because they have a cover value of 4 when firing from a range. So with the penetration value, he needs to roll a 3 on the D6 and an 8 on the D10. He's firing here. Ooh, look at that. We actually managed to kill one of those Sturmtruppen. Cool. Okay, so 1 is down. 1 is suppressed, and then we have 1 suppressed here. And that, my friends, is the end of my turn. That means we're gonna go to the enemy's turn now. Let me just reset my action markers. There we go. Okay, so let's see for our enemies. We're gonna start with the dreaded reinforcements draw. So only a 3 is valid here, so let's hope it's not a 3. Oh, that's very good. It's a 2. Ambushers, they're not a valid reinforcements. So we're gonna go ahead and discard them. And then we would have the attack, but none of them can attack from range 1. So we will have close range. And only the Grenadiers are gonna go ahead and close range, since our ambushers, both of them have a suppression token on them, and I can't move. So then we have the last step, which is remove 1 suppression counter. And advanced mission timer. Okay, so it's our turn again. Now the question is, do I want to finish these off? Do I want to suppress, or do I want to just run? And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run for it. And I'm thinking about playing the Ford. There's quite a lot of hostiles there too. 4 points of hostiles. I feel like I have a lot of hostiles already. The Ruins are pretty cool because there's no reinforcements from there. Only 2 points of hostiles. I think actually I'm going to play the Ruins. I'm playing the Ruins. That is 1 action to play. And we have to draw a new hostile, so hostiles for value up to 2. And we draw a rifleman, which will target number 1. And oof, machine gun team, that's not good. They're gonna have us trapped. Okay, so we have a machine gun team there too. That's pretty bad, because as you can see here on the machine gun team, they are screened by 0 to 2, so the riflemen screen the machine gun team. That's pretty bad. They also raise the entrance cost. So let's see what we want to do with that. I kind of want to move into this location now and throw some grenades with MacDougall. I have the foobar card, and the foobar card says play when a hostile card is placed in or moves into your location. Gain 1 extra action during the next soldier turn. So I'm gonna play it now, but I really should have played it as the Grenadiers moved in, but I don't see much of a change of it. I usually don't even think about that I have this card and that it works like that. But yeah, I should have used it as the Grenadiers moved in, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it this turn to get one extra action for MacDougall. MacDougall goes ahead and moves into the ruins, and he does it without spending an action then. And he has to discard 2 cards now, since he the machine gun team adds +2 to the entrance cost. So let's see which cards I want to go ahead and... I want to discard Scrounge and Traffic Hub. And now I'm going to start throwing some grenades. So I'll start with 1 grenade at the Rifleman. And I only need 7s now. With the D10s, cover is broken because of the penetration value. Only 1 hit. That's pretty lame. 1 hit, however, we do have 2 suppressions. So that's pretty cool. And we are going to go ahead and use the next grenade. Give them to the machine gunners. They have a high cover value of 4. So we need a 3 on the D6. Okay. We'll do our best. Let's see if we can do this. Ah, crap. We hit with 2 of them, but the cover is not beaten. But we do, however, manage to suppress these guys. So that's pretty good. Also, the ruins, when you play it, move the timer counter forward 1 space. So, I forgot about that, but now it's done. Okay, so we have them all suppressed, but I want to have them actually dead. So, that's not so good. Now the question is... Okay, he spent his action doing so. I'm gonna go ahead and move in with my other guys. He only uses the move out action card to move in without spending an action. And then he uses steady aim. Play when you declare a range attack. Add 2 to your attack rolls. So he's using that one. Attacking the machine gun team with his M1 rifle. He also needs a 3 on the D6. And now he needs, let's see, a 5 on the D10. Bah. Both of them miss. Okay. Number 3 and number 4 are moving in. Spending 1 action doing so. Also note that the machine gunners raise the entrance cost, but that's not active if they are suppressed. So that's why I'm not doing that right now. Okay, so Scott is gonna fire at the machine gun team. He needs let's see, he needs a 4 on the D6 and a 7 on the D10. Oh, come on. That was so close. Well, nära skjuter ingen hare. So we spend the last action with Harmon. And he needs a 7 and a 3 to hit. Ooh, yeah. Okay. We have 1 of the machine gunners dead. So that's good news. 1 of them are down. And that is the end of my turn. So we're going to go ahead and reset our action markers. After this turn, I think we're actually going to get the heck out of here. Quite far away from the objective still, so I need to make some. I need to make some range here from these guys following me. Okay, so hostile step. We would normally have attack, but these guys are not within ranged, and these guys are either suppressed or dead. So then we will do close range. So these guys, the 2 grenadiers, are moving in. So we have a lot of hostiles here now. And then these guys are moving in over here. And then we're going to remove suppression, 1 from each hostile, and advance the timer. And then it's our turn again. Note that I did not draw for reinforcements because the ruins have no reinforcements active. And the question now is, which card do I want to play? The fort is kind of good. It's nature, and it lets me subtract 2 from the next hostile's location. But it has quite a high hostile value of 4. But I think I have to play that actually. There's not much of a choice here. So I'm going to play that. 1 action to play. And that was, I believe that was Andy's. So he'll spend 1 action. We'll draw hostiles for it. We need hostiles for a value of 4 points. So we have ambushers. And they target number 3. And frontmost spawning. So they're going to spawn in the ruins. Pay 1 experience or inflict 1 suppression on each soldier in that location. Of course, we're going to go ahead and spend 1 experience point. So that's a value of 2. So it's getting really crowded here. They're going to share the 2 grenadiers and the ambushers, so sharing 1 spot up here. 2 more points of hostiles. And we have another squad of ambushers. And they are target number 2. And again, of course, we're going to go ahead and spend 1 experience point for these guys. And they're also going to share space. So you can see we have a lot of hostiles here now. 1 rifleman, 1 machine gun team, 2 ambushers, 2 grenadiers, and 2 stormtrooper. Okay, so we're going to make a run for it. Let's see if I have no action cards that lets me get away. So let's see. Andy's gonna move in. Oof. Okay, so this is a problem. This is a big problem. It's a huge problem. Oh man, why did I think of this? The entrance cost is 4. And he only has a movement value of 2. So he's gonna have to discard 2 cards. And I don't want to discard to stay low because the reinforcements here is ridiculous. It's 0, 1, 5, 6, 8, 9. So, and I can't discard cards with McDougal. I don't know why he shouldn't be exhausted. And there's so many hostiles here now that I can't even think about starting to engage them. I'm just gonna die that way. Okay, give me a moment. Alright, so first of all, the timer is going back 1 space since we played a nature card. But what I'm gonna do here is actually I can't decide what I'm gonna do. I really don't want to waste my stay low card, but I see no other option here for me since the entrance cost is 4. Let's see. I think I had a card that would decrease the entrance cost, but I think that's lost. Unfortunately. So I am going to go ahead and discard these cards against my will. Why is he over here? And he's moving into the fort, spending 1 action doing so. And then McDougal does the same. Spends 1 action moving in. And he also has a movement value of 2, so he has to discard his 2 cards. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna, before we go in actually, before I move in with him, I'm discarding the cards and I'm saving Cratered, spending 1 action, drawing 4 new cards. And we get flanking attack, silver bullet, combined fire, and prepared fire. Pretty good cards. And then I'm spending 1 action moving in. And I have to discard 2 of these cards, and I'm going to go ahead and discard, let's see, flanking attack and prepared fire. And moving in with number 3, which is Harmon. He has a movement value of 4, so no card discard needed. And then Scott is also moving in. Let's see, do I want to fire with Scott before I move in, perhaps? Okay, so I am going to go ahead and fire at the Rifleman before I move with Scott. He needs a 2 with the D6 and a 7 with the D10. And we hit, so we managed to kill one of the Riflemen. And then he spends his last action moving in. And the same goes here for Harmon. He moved in the previous or this turn. So I'll just move him back. Let's say I'll just move him back. I don't make that action. And I spend one action firing at the Rifleman. He needs, let's see, a 7 to hit. And he doesn't even need to roll the cover roll. He rolls a 2, so that is unfortunate. That means he goes out of ammo. However, the Rifleman is suppressed, but he already is. Then he spends his last action moving in. Oh man, these little markers. Okay, and that is all of my actions. So, let's see what happens now. I'm really sad I had to discard that stay low card. It was part of my great plan. Okay, so it's the enemy turn. There's so many enemies. And we're going to draw for reinforcements. Reinforcements is 0, 1, 5, 8, 9. And it's a 1, so it's stragglers. Placed in rearmost. That's going to be this area. And they're going to go ahead and target number 4. Okay, so attack. And attacking is only going to be done by the stragglers and the machine gun team, since the other ones have a range 0 range, and the Rifleman is suppressed. So let's start with the stragglers. They are targeting Scott. They need to roll, let's see, a 7 or higher on this one to make wounds, and this one needs to be, let's see, 2 or higher, the D6. Ooh, look at that. They roll a 9, so that would kill me, but a 1, they don't break his cover, so he's only suppressed. And then we have the machine gun team, which will target Andy. And let's see, there's only one of them remaining, so they have no penetration, so they need to roll a 2 on the D6. And let's see, a 5 or higher with the D10. Ooh, look at that, man. Again, they don't break cover. I'm very lucky to be alive. Alright. So that's it. These guys are all moving in to my area. These guys are staying, but the Sturmtruppen are also moving. However, they are moving towards me, so they're still far away from me. Let's see if I can make this in some... Oh man, where was this turn marker? I think it was at 7. I'm gonna have to take down my camera and take a look at where the turn marker was at. So it's getting a little bit crowded here. I'll admit that. Okay, so they have moved in, they have fired, and removed 1 suppression from each, and then advanced the mission timer. But I'm gonna have to stand up, take my camera down, and look at where the mission timer we're at. Okay, so the mission timer was at 7, so it will go to 6. We have 6 more turns. That's pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna spend 1 action here to get rid of the suppression token. The same with Scott. And then we're gonna go ahead and move in here. I'm gonna have to play the objective first. So 1 action to play. So I'll play that with McDougal. This is another nature objective, meaning that the timer moves backward 1 space. And reinforcements value here on the crater is, for my squad value of 48, it is 3. However, with the previous card, Ford, subtract 2 from the next location's hostile value. So it's just going to be 1 point of hostile spawning from here. And it's a large truck who will target number 1. So the truck is not really cool because it's gonna bring in a lot of reinforcements. So we're gonna want to move in and get rid of that truck. Okay, so entrance cost is free. So that is also a problem. Andy is spending 1 action here, drawing 6 new cards. And the cards he draw are Take Cover, Steady Aim, Scrounge, Self-Sacrifice, Draw Fire, and a location marker, which is useless for me right now. And then he spends his last action moving in, and he has to discard 1 card for that. Let's see, I'm going to discard the location marker. And let's see, this guy's, what is he still doing there? I thought he moved in. Okay, he paid 1. Alright, okay, so he paid 1 to get unsuppressed and then 1 to play the card. Alright, gonna move in with Harmon. Spending 1 action doing so, and then moving in with Scott, also spending 1 action doing so. This is getting a little bit exciting. And see, do I have any good cards? Nope. I have Combined Fire, but that's not going to help me, really. I want to take down this guy. I wonder if I suppress him, if the reinforcing thing goes away. There's a total of 3 trucks. So yeah, that would mean... I'm pretty sure if you're watching this and you know the rule better than I do, but I'm pretty sure that means I have to suppress all of them. And I don't have that possibility here since I don't have any card that I could use to really do anything at all. So that's problematic. Well, they're gonna fire. Harmon fires with his... Nope. He reloads. And then Scott fires. He needs a 3 on the D6 and a 7 on the D10. Well, he did his best. He did 1 suppression on the large truck. So that is the end of my turn. And we have an enemy turn again. Not looking too good, I gotta admit. But we'll do our best here. Alright, so let's see where we are. Enemy turn, so reinforcements draw. We will draw reinforcements here first. And we have an officer, and fortunately for us, that's not a valid reinforcement for the Ford. Then we have reinforcements for the crater. And it's a machine gun team. Again, we are safe because reinforcements will only be 0 and 1. However, we have a large truck. 0 to 3, so the recruits are gonna spawn here, and they're gonna target number 4. Alright, so let's see, the truck doesn't fire. The recruits are gonna go ahead and fire at number 4. They need a 2 on the D6 to hit and a 4 on the D10. Oh, look at that, man. They miss with the D10, so Scott is just suppressed, but he's alive. And let's see, do we have anyone else in range here? I don't believe we do. Perhaps the ambushers. Okay, so one of the ambushers are in range of McDougal, so they are going to fire at him. And all of them are alive, so they only need, let's see, they don't even need to roll this one. It's an automatic hit, and they need a 6 or higher on this one, on the D10. And they roll a 2, so they miss. Wow. Okay, that's very lucky. I'm very lucky to be alive. And that is the end of their attack step. They are going to move closer now. All of them who are not in range. So it's going to get really, really, really crowded, I'm afraid. So they are going to share this kind of... Let's see, these are heading for 4. Oh, okay, he also can also do an attack. The Grenadiers. So the Grenadiers have a penetration value, so the suppression is always going to hit. And let's see, they... Penetration 1, and they need a 5 or higher to hit with the D10. Ooh, that is a shame. That means Scott is down. They got the 5 here. That's 1 wound. And then they got the 1, but it turns into a 2 because they have a 1 in penetration value. So unfortunately, Scott is our first casualty of the war. Sorry, Scott. And that means that MacDougall, who has the panic skill, suffers a suppression. So that is certainly not good. I don't know why I always forget to reset the action markers with MacDougall. But anyway, that happens. And then we have all of these guys are also closing range here. So it's getting kind of out of control here. We have a total of 6 enemies now. And 5 enemies here. So a total of 11 enemies. We move the timer. And we remove 1 suppression counter. Okay, so it's our turn again. We are going to go ahead and activate the objective. Before I do, I'm going to try to clean this up a little bit better, because we are going to have more hostiles, to make it clearer where these enemies are. Okay, so these 5 are in the crater, and these 6 enemies are in the ford. Let's go ahead and activate, as a free action, the supply dump, and draw hostiles worth 4 points. So we have stragglers, and they are targeting... I'm running out of these these counters. They are targeting number 4, and they also have an event. So it's our first ever event card here, and low wall, -2 from this location's entrance cost. So that's pretty cool. That is actually a good event. I'm gonna put it here to remember it. And then we have more stragglers, and these guys are actually gonna spawn over at the ford. Since they're stragglers, they place in rearmost. So rearmost means furthest away or closest to the mission card. So both of these guys, targeting number 4 and targeting number 2, man, this is getting out of hand, are placed in the ford. So you all know it doesn't look like it, but this all of these enemies here, they're in the ford. All of these, now 8 enemies. Still need 2 more points of enemies for this location. And we have a rifleman. And we have an officer. So these guys are in the supply dump. These 5 guys, or 5 squadrons, are in the crater. And these 8 guys are in the ford. Okay, so I have a problem now. I have a big problem. And that is that 2 has the grenades that I was going to use to clear out the supply dump. So I'm having a hard time thinking that I'm going to make it all the way over there and actually clear that place. But I'm gonna do anything I can. So with 1, I'm moving in as an action. With 2, I'm removing the suppression. And moving in as an action. And then with, let's see, number 4, he's dead, unfortunately. With number 3, I'm also moving into this location as an action. And I'm actually going to use the foxhole here. So I'll use the foxhole for number 3. And you can see here, entrenching tool. When you enter a location, you may pay 2 experience points to place a foxhole counter. You may discard the foxhole after you suffer an attack to suffer no effect. Discard the foxhole when you leave the location or enter hand-to-hand combat. So we have to pay 2 experience points for that, but it feels like that's worth it because there's a lot of enemies coming my way. Okay, so the only one I have actions left with is Andy. So he's going to go ahead and use his... because now I need to destroy the supply dump. But hostiles screen the supply dump. So that is our big problem right now. Okay, so... I'm not even sure it was a good move moving in with number 3, since he has a lot of guys coming his way, but I don't know what I should do otherwise. So anyway, Andy goes ahead and shoots at the rifleman. He needs, let's see, he needs 7 on the M1. Do I have any cards I could use? I'll save those for the officer when time comes. So I need a 7 on this one, on the D10. And I roll an 8, so that's pretty cool. I don't have to roll for cover since the M1 has a 1 in penetration. Same goes for Harmon. He also uses his M1 against riflemen. And we roll a 3, so that's unsuccessful. However, we managed to suppress them. Okay, that is the end of my turn. And what a horrible turn. I said earlier that I need to learn how to not just kill everything. I just have to suppress and keep moving. But I think maybe I went a little bit overboard with that kind of tactic, because now we're in this situation and it's certainly not looking good. Okay, so let's draw our reinforcements here, 0 and 1, and his recruits. And I'm running out of these. They're not going to be able to fire at anyone. So they are targeting number 1, and they're spawning over here at the top. And then we need to draw for the supply dump, 0 and 1 ambushers. They're not a valid reinforcements, so they go in the bottom of the pile. And then we have the officers, 0 to 2. And they draw a rifleman. And I don't know how I should... I'm going to roll a d6, I guess, to see who he's going to target. That is... and the same goes for these guys with the 4s, since number 4 is dead. So I'm going to get myself some d6s. Okay, so I got myself a bunch of... oops, forgot the mic. Got myself a bunch of d6s, so we're going to roll those now. And I'm just going to let them, if they are a 1 or a 3. Or, sorry, a 1, 2, or 3. So let's roll for the rifleman first. Come on. Oh, come on, man. There we go, number 3. And then we're going to do the same with all of these guys, since they have the number 4 target. And he's not with us any longer. So we're going to be rolling a lot. This is for the Grenadier, by the way. Man, come on. I know I could turn the D6 into a D3, but that's just going to be confusing for me. So this is the reason why I do it like this. Recruits and the stragglers. And then the stragglers back there. Okay, there we go. And let's see. Now we have an event with the riflemen. So the event is sandbags. Attached to a random hostile in this location. When attacked, hostiles gain +1 cover. Discard if the hostiles moves. So we're going to roll a d6. 1, the rifleman gets it. 2, the officer gets it. 3, the rifleman on top gets it. So the rifleman down here gets the sandbags. +1 cover. And I believe that's all of the reinforcements we should draw. Oh, we have the reinforcements from the truck as well. 0 to 3. And it's recruits. This is really going out of hand. We'll roll a d6 to see who he targets, since we have ran out of target markers. He will target number 3. Okay, it's going a little bit crazy. So where are we at now? Okay, we done the reinforcements. Now we need to do the attack. So the riflemen are attacking number 3. They need let's see, 2 with the d6 to break cover, and then an 8 or higher with the d10. So they break cover, and they also hit, but he has the foxhole, so we will discard his entrenching tool now. He have saved himself from that attack. And then we have the officer who will attack. He will attack number 2, but he has a range of 0, so he can't. And then we have these riflemen. Why don't they have they should have had d6 on them. Maybe I accidentally removed that. Come on. Okay, they are targeting number 3. So we'll roll our die, and this time they hit, they break cover, and they roll an 8, so that is 1 wound. So we take a wound marker here. This guy has a health value of 4, so he can take 3 more hits. And let's see, these guys are also targeting number 3. They have a range of 1. And they fail, but they do manage to suppress him. Let's see here. These guys also target number 3. And they manage to hit him, so he has now a total of 2 wounds. Let's see, these guys target number... Okay, so we've done them and them. These target number 3, but they have a range 0. Target number 1. But the recruits here are going to target number 1. And they need to roll a 4 or higher. And a 2 with the d6. 7. So that is 1 wound. Okay, on Andy. That's an experience point. 1 wound. Okay, man. I should have some markers to know which one I've shoot with, or I should start shooting at number 1 or something like that. But, well, anyway. I think we shot with everyone that can shoot at number 1 and 3. So now we have number 2 remaining. So, number 2, we have these stragglers. They're firing. They need 7 or higher. And they will always break cover. They roll a 5, so that's a miss. But they suppress him. And then we have the Grenadiers. They need also a 5 or higher. They miss. Let's see. We have this guy range 0. Okay, so no one else can shoot. So that's that's good at least. Okay, so now we have the moving in phase, and this is going to be confusing because the ones that are not in range are going to move in. So these guys are staying, but the officer moves into the crater. Oh man, this is going to be so confusing. Let's see, all of the other guys stay. Except for the, let's see. This guy is moving over to this side because he's targeting number 3. Okay, this should be it. And on this side, oh man. I think actually all of these guys move in to the crater. Yeah, my dogs are going at it. Okay, so basically now all of these guys, because they're going this direction, all of them are going into this location, the crater. So all of these guys that you see here, they are in the crater, and the riflemen, the ambushers, and this rifleman, they're in the supply dump. So that's how it is. Alright, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna try to see if we can trick the game. It's our turn again, by the way. Remove one supply before and move the timer up. We have 5 more turns, so we're really not in a rush here. But what we're gonna do here is we will spend 1 action with these guys, taking away the suppression. And then we're gonna go ahead and with the number 3 move back to the crater, and hope that these guys go after him. And that way I'm gonna have the supply dump for myself, and I can start bombing it. And I only need 1 turn to take this objective down, and that will be mission complete. So we'll see. That means we can't get any hostile spawning though, so it's not gonna be an easy one. Alright, he moves back, and then he's gonna go ahead and fire. And the only one he can fire at are the recruits, because they screen everyone else. So I think with McDougal, actually, I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 grenade at this group of recruits. And he breaks cover automatically, but he needs 7 or higher with the D10s. So one of them is suppressed, 1 is killed. With... let's see what I want to do with Yandy. I think I want to draw some new cards. And he has 1 wound now, so he can only have 5 cards instead of 6. And he have prepared fire, suppress, snapshot, cover me, and hand signals. Okay, and he's gonna spend 1 more action. I'm really hoping for the stay low card, so I'm discarding all of these. 2, 3, 4, 5. Could I get low? Steady aim, location marker, move out, reloading, and another move out. Yeah, that was too good to be true, but I tried my best. Harman is going to fire at these recruits with his M1 rifle. He needs a 7 or higher to hit. He rolls a 5, so he miss. But he does suppress them. And that is, again, the end of my turn. Things are not looking too good here. I think they're going to take out Harman, and then they're going to come for me. That is the problem. Okay, so it's the enemy's turn, and we will draw reinforcements now. Let's start with the reinforcements from the supply dump. 0 or 1, and it's a 4. And that is not a valid one. That's the half track. And then we will draw cratered 0 to 1, and it's a sniper team. So again, it's non-valid. We have the, let's see, the officer, which will reinforce 0 to 2. And it's the flamethrower. Wow, and that also has a event. But I'm gonna have to roll the D6 here to see who he will target. This is crazy. I'm not sure if I'm playing something wrong, because there's feels like it with so many hostiles. He's gonna go ahead and target number 3. We'll put him on top here. Man, there's no space left for more hostiles. And then he has an event, and the event is minefield. Roll 1 attack and target the frontmost soldier location, then discard. We can evade it for 2 experience points, and we're definitely going to do that. Because we don't want Yandy getting blown up. Okay, so we still need to draw reinforcements for the large truck, 0 to 3, and it's another 3. It's another machine gun team with an event, and we will roll D6 to see who he will target. He will target number 2. I think this is gonna be it, guys. This is just too crazy. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I don't even know where to put this guy. I'm gonna put him over here, since we all know that all of these guys. No, those are in the. No, they're all in the crater now. Okay, so they're all there. So I can even put down these guys because they're all in the crater. And I'm gonna have to shuffle. I'm running out of hostiles now. We only have 8 hostiles remaining in the hostile deck. Then we have every hostile on the map versus my free soldiers. That is crazy. Okay, so we need to do our attack. And let's start with attacks against number 1 then. So the recruits will fire. Again, all of these hostiles are in the crater. All of these 3 are in the supply dump. So the recruits are firing. Oh yeah, these guys firing at number 3. They will not move. I wanted them to move away. Oh, darn it. Okay, anyway, let's do this because they're gonna take me out most probably. Okay, so the recruits, sorry, will target number 1. So they need a 2 with the D6, 4 or higher with the D10. And you roll a 4 and a 7, and that is 1 wound. So that is my second wound. Let's check my cards here. I can only have 4 cards now, so I have to discard 1. I will discard a location marker. And so he's done. We move to the next number 1. We have the stragglers. They will move in instead. And then we have the machine gun team here. And there's only one of them alive. But he will hit on a 5 or higher. And they miss. And they miss with cover and other ones, so they don't suppress either. And then we have the rifleman here. One of them is still alive. And he will hit on a 8 or higher. And they roll an 8, so there we go. 1 more wound. So he has a total of 3 wounds now. So only 3 health remaining. I will discard, move out. Then we have McDougal, who I always forget to reset his action counts for some reason. Because I don't think we have any more attacks against 1. Nope. Only the truck, but that doesn't fire. So for number 2, we have the machine gunners here targeting number 2, which is in their sector. And they will hit, it's a full team, so they will hit on a 3 or higher. And they don't even need to roll for penetration. And they roll an 8, and that is, okay, I'm lucky that is 1 wound. It could have been 2 wounds. And then we have the stragglers. They need 7 or higher. They roll a 3, so they miss. And then we have the Grenadier. He needs a 5 or higher. He rolls a 1. So he also misses. But from the misses of them, they should actually suppress McDougal. Since McDougal only has a 1 in cover value, they will always suppress him if they're missing. And then we have the ambushers, and they need, they need only a 6 or higher. And they roll a 4, so they also miss, but they also suppress him, so you can see he's getting crazily suppressed here. Then we have the stragglers, they need a 7 or higher. They roll a 5, another suppression. The officer, they need a 4 or higher. They roll a 9, that is 3 wounds. Oof. So he has a total of 4 wounds now. He only has 1 health remaining. He can only have 1 card. He will have combined fire. And then we have the Grenadier. He needs a 5 or higher. He rolls a 5. So McDougal is our second casualty. And that's pretty bad. That basically means, I mean, we can't, you can see that we can't win this. So let's just take all of this stuff away and focus on our remaining soldiers. So all of these guys here who are targeting number 2, they should be assigned new targets. But I guess we can do that in a later turn. Then we have all of these guys targeting number 3. There's lots of them. Range 0. Here recruits. One of them is alive. He needs a 7 or higher. And a 2. All of these 6. That's a suppression. And let's see the recruits here. One of them is still alive. Also needs a 7 or higher to hit. A 6. So that's a miss, but he does suppress. And then the riflemen, they need 6 or higher. And they manage to score a hit. So this guy now has 3 wounds. That means he has only 1 life remaining. And we still have 1 more attack from these riflemen. They need an 8 to hit him. And they do. So this guy is now down. So that is our last man alive. Yandy, that is. All of the other guys have been KIA. And we can now remove these 6s. Because there's only 1 target remaining for the Germans. And that target is him. So I think you can see here that that there is no way for me to win. These 3 guys are in the objective and they screen the objective. I'm not going to be able to take them out with these cards and his free wounds and his equipment here. So basically we can say that the game is lost. I'd really like to hear from you guys watching who are experienced players. Tell me what I did wrong, because I find it hard sometimes to find a balance between moving and actually staying and like killing and suppressing. Sometimes I can find that hard. You can see not too many turns left, just 4 turns left. So I really wonder, should I perhaps have tried to get other objectives? Should I have tried to clear up more of the enemy troops before moving? Let me know what you think. Also, you guys who aren't experienced, let me know what you think. What did I do wrong this time that I didn't do last time? Obviously, I didn't take care. I think I was a little bit unlucky with the reinforcements draws too, because, I mean, like I said, there is like 6, 7, 8 cards left here. And then we have every German on the board. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching another Warfighter World War II playthrough. I'm sorry if it got a little bit boring there in the end with this cluttered board. But that's the way it is sometimes. I did try to get a supply dump, but I did fail also. Maybe I will have better luck next time. And of course, I'm going to be playing more games of Warfighter World War II, both the Pacific and the European games. So if this is something that you like watching, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to sit down now and read some rules for Free or Free Squadron, because I paid like $300 or something for that Kickstarter, and it's time for me to learn how to play that game. So if that's something that you would also like me to play, stay tuned to the channel, because our playthrough is coming soon. Well, as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you next time.